What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna do a little bit of meal prepping. When you are trying to lose weight and build muscle, one thing that is most likely holding you back if you're not seeing the results you want is the fact that your diet is not in check. Simply going to the gym and trying to eat healthier, yeah, it's a good idea in theory, but if you wanna make the most out of what you're doing, having your meals lined up, knowing what you're putting in your body is essential. So today I'm gonna run you guys through what a weekly meal prep looks like. We're gonna keep these meals fun, we're gonna keep them delicious, and most importantly, you can prepare them all on a Sunday. That way you have meals Monday through Friday. The focus will be eating foods that taste good, have enough protein, are filling, they're lower in calorie, and overall gonna be a great addition to any diet. So if y'all are ready to get this started, let's get going. So the first meal we will be making is anabolic French toast, aka French toast that has added protein. Now, this is one of the easiest recipes you will ever do, and cooking it for the entire week is not only simple, but a delicious way to start the day. I'm gonna put the recipe card for all these recipes on the screen right here. You can screenshot it if you wanna try it out yourself, or if you have my cookbook, this one will be on page 18. So I'm gonna start by taking a baking dish, and I'm gonna pour in 1,380 grams of egg whites. Keep in mind, we're making this recipe 5 times since we need it for the week, so all I do is a little multiplication on the original recipe to get my numbers. Now we're gonna add about 10 grams of cinnamon, 25 grams of vanilla extract, and roughly 15 grams of 0-calorie sweetener. Now that everything's in here, I'm just gonna go in with a whisk, mix everything together, make sure it's all fully incorporated. And once you whisk it for a bit, it should look like this, and now it's time for the bread. Now once we got everything mixed, we're gonna take about 20 slices of plain white bread. I'm just gonna dip down on our mixture, let it absorb some of this, flip it around, pull it out, let it drip a bit, and then set it on a baking sheet. I'm gonna continue to do this until all of our pieces have soaked up the egg whites. And in just a short amount of time, we have all of our pieces of bread ready to go in the oven. I just wanted to give you guys a quick little note here. If your pans aren't very big, you might end up having to cut some of your slices of bread down the middle just to get them to squeeze on the end to fit an entire week's worth in the oven at the same time. But at the end of the day, still gonna taste amazing, even if it's only half a slice. And now, bulk cooking is gonna be a breeze. We got 3 racks in the oven. I'm gonna set it to 425 degrees. If you have a convection mode, which means it kind of blows air around, that's gonna make them a little crispier, but not necessary. I'm just gonna toss these right in, boom, boom, and final one. I'm just gonna set a 15-minute timer and we will check on these here in a minute. And after the 15-minute mark, all we wanna do is go in, flip each piece of French toast over. You'll notice it's still soggy on the underside, and what we wanna do is take care of that. And once they're all flipped, all we're gonna do is toss them back in the oven for around 5 to 10 more minutes until you hit the desired level of doneness you want, and then we're ready to put them in containers. And just like that, we pulled them out of the oven, sorted them into their own respective Tupperware containers, dumped a little bit of sugar-free syrup on top of each one, and boom, we now have protein French toast for the entire week. This is a meal I love because it's great cold, it's great heated up, you put that syrup in there, it infuses, and it just creates an overall perfect way to start the day. And for each of these grab-and-go French toast meals, what you end up with for each container is 371 calories, 3 grams of fat, 38 grams of protein, 48 grams of carbs, 2 grams of fiber. Now that we've finished up breakfast, let's see if we can't do something for lunch. Now we're gonna move into one of my favorite recipes. This right here might look a little complicated when you see all the ingredients, but I'm telling you, this really is set it and forget it, and it's gonna create a perfect meal to enjoy all week long. We are making anabolic pizza pasta. We are combining the best parts of both pasta and pizza and making it something you are absolutely gonna love. If you have my cookbook, this recipe is on page 118. What makes this so simple is that we will be using either a Ninja Foodi Deluxe or an Instant Pot. Essentially a pressure cooker. Doesn't matter what brand you have, as long as you got something that performs that same function, you're gonna be good. I'm gonna begin by pouring my chicken broth in the bottom of our pot. And then our next step is to take our onions, place them in a skillet, spread them out, and then we'll follow that up with our turkey sausage. We're gonna cook both of these together until our turkey sausage is brown. And then once these are fried up, we'll just sit them down in the pan with our chicken broth. And at this point, you can add whatever pizza seasonings you like. I'm personally gonna keep it simple, just toss in a little bit of oregano. Now I'm just gonna toss in my green onion, try to get it evenly spread out in here. Then I'm gonna do the exact same thing with my mushrooms. Now we're gonna take our protein pasta, and what we wanna do with it is dump it in here, but once again, keep it all in one layer. It's gonna cook the best that way. You just don't want one clump of it in a corner. So if you kind of check out what I'm doing, I don't want the audio to break you guys' ears, but I'm trying to just space it out and keep it even. And if you end up like this, that looks pretty good to me. And then on top of our noodles, we're gonna take some low-calorie pasta sauce and just once again, evenly spread it out in one layer. Now I'll just go in with a spoon, push it edge to edge, really try to make this as even as we can. And then the final thing we'll do is take our turkey pepperoni, and once again, we're gonna spread this out evenly in one layer across the top. With the amount that we have, we should easily be able to get full coverage. And once the pasta is assembled, all we gotta do is toss our pan in a pressure cooker, cook on high for 4 minutes, and this is gonna be ready to go. Let's do it. And after a little time in the Instant Pot, you can see that everything has been cooked, but visually it doesn't look too different. We got some sauce puddling up top, but for the most part, you can't see the magic yet. So at this point, what we wanna do, dump our fat-free mozzarella right down in here, and then now we wanna take a spoon and stir everything together. As soon as I break this open, it's probably gonna fog up my camera. We're gonna have to see what happens. That's what I thought. I adjusted the camera, but just get a load of how that turns out right there. The noodles are perfectly cooked. We got the mushrooms, we got the cheese. As we stir this cheese in, it's gonna combine and make this whole thing gooey. Oh boy, you can't tell me that doesn't look delicious. And just like that, we have 5 days worth of protein pizza pasta that doesn't even feel like you're trying to eat healthy. Sprinkle a little Parmesan cheese on top, toss it in the microwave for a few minutes at work. This is really gonna be one of those meals that you're gonna love to come back to. And what I love about this one is how much flavor you get in one of these containers. You got the turkey sausage, the turkey pepperoni, you got the pasta, you got the spices, you got the mushrooms. Literally, you try this one, I know you're gonna love it. And on top of all that, this was super easy. In each of these containers, what we have is 618 calories, 13 grams of fat, 51 grams of protein, 73 grams of carbs with 9 grams of fiber. Now let's move on to something that's even easier. Now this next meal we're about to do is great as a breakfast, great as a sweet treat in the middle of the day. Really, you can have this wherever. And the best part is, it is stupid simple. We really only need about 5 ingredients, and we're gonna make something that is delicious, high in protein, and perfect for a diet. This is my Anabolic Power Oatmeal recipe, and you can find this on page 17 of the cookbook. And if you're enjoying these recipes so far, and you like the idea of making a high protein diet, something that's actually enjoyable to eat, don't forget I have a ton more recipes on this channel and in my cookbook, available at the first link in the description box. Every recipe on this channel is broken down in an easy to use guide. I tell you what to weigh out, step-by-step instructions, the calories, the protein, the macros, everything. I even show you in this book how to figure out how many calories you need to be eating in a day. Plus you get it one time, anytime I add a recipe to the channel, it gets updated and added to the book for free. I'm telling you, if other diets aren't working for you, perhaps this is the one that you'll actually stick to because it's actually good food. So don't forget, hit that link down in my description. Now let's get back to the video. So what we're gonna do is start by getting a large mixing bowl and tossing our oats down in. We're gonna be making 5 days worth of this recipe, so I'm doing the math accordingly. Now I'm just gonna weigh out my water, pour it in evenly across the oats. Then I'll just go in with a spoon and make sure all of our oats are submerged and they all soak up some of that water. Now I'm just gonna add my peanut powder. Once it's added, we'll stir it in with the oats. Now we're just gonna add in our whey protein powder. I'm using that Final Boss Cinnamon Toast Swirl. I love this stuff in recipes, available at finalbossperformance.com. Use code RJF10, you'll save yourself 10%. Once we have the protein powder added, we'll go ahead and stir it in with the oats and PB Fit powder. And then the last thing we'll add is our frozen blueberries. And once these are incorporated, we'll go in, give everything one final stir, and this will be ready to go. And there we go. In no time at all, we have Anabolic Power Oatmeal for the entire week. What I love about this is that it's super filling. You got the oatmeal in there, but you also got a ton of blueberries. So we're getting a lot of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, a really good flavor blend throughout. And honestly, this one's so easy. There's no reason anybody watching can't try it out. My favorite part about this meal has got to be the texture. Unlike regular oatmeal, they can get a little runny. When you do it this way, every bite is thick, loaded with flavor, chewy, sweet. It really is like an oatmeal dessert. Now in each of our meal prep containers for this recipe, what we have is 402 calories, 6 grams of fat, 38 grams of protein, 49 grams of carbs, and 10 grams of fiber. So as of now, we've made 3 hearty meals for the entire day that will last all week. But now, I think we should do something that's more like dessert. Let's go. Now this next recipe holds a special place in my heart because it's so nostalgic from my childhood. My family would always make peanut butter chews, which was a combination of peanut butter, sugar, cornflakes, and they were amazing, but they weren't good for the diet. So here we're gonna make a modified version. Not only is this simple, but I know you're gonna love it. And if you have the cookbook, this recipe is on page 192. So I'm gonna be making 3 batches of this recipe at one time. So I'm gonna multiply out, once again, all the ingredients accordingly. I'm gonna start with a mixing bowl on a food scale and pour in 390 grams of unsweetened almond milk. Next up, we got 93 grams of a vanilla-based whey protein powder, 240 grams of our PB Fit powder, about 30 grams of our 0-calorie sweetener, and then finally 126 grams of sugar-free honey. If you can't find the sugar-free version, regular honey will work as well. It has the exact same amount of calories. And now that all those are in here, I'm just going with a spoon and mix everything together until we're left with a sweet peanut butter liquid. And then once we got it all stirred up and it looks about like this, what we'll do is grab a saucepan, hit it with a little nonstick, and then we'll pour our peanut butter mixture down inside. Then all we'll do now is place it on the stove, set the heat to a medium. We'll let this heat up, continue stirring it, and let it do its thing for about 3 to 4 minutes until it thickens up. And then while we're waiting on the peanut butter coating to mix up, weigh out 120 grams of your cornflakes in another large mixing bowl and have it waiting. And once our sauce is thickened up a bit, we're just gonna pour it over top of the cornflakes. And now we just wanna go in with a spoon and keep mixing until every cornflake is fully covered. And at this point, I'll just lay out a piece of parchment paper, grab a spoon, get whatever size bite I want, and lay it down on the paper. I'm gonna repeat this step until I'm left with an even number of bites that I can easily split into separate little snack meals. After we sat these out on the parchment paper, all we had to do was wait about 30 minutes, let them cool down, take their shape, and then we sort them into our meal prep containers. This is what I call snacking the smart way. When you do it like this, you're still getting that protein in, you're controlling the calories, but simultaneously, you're actually enjoying what you're doing. These will also last all week in your fridge, but one thing I do recommend and what I like to do with them is actually toss these in the freezer and then pull them out a few minutes before you want to eat them. They're gonna be softer, they're gonna have an ice cream, dessert-like consistency, and they're gonna be incredible. I know you're gonna love them. Now in each one of these containers, what we end up with for each one is 469 calories, 8 grams of fat, 41 grams of protein, 59 grams of carbs, 10 grams of fiber. Now that we've meal prepped 4 different meals for the entire week, let's lay them out and see what it all looks like. And there you have it. It really is that easy to meal prep for the entire week without making it boring, repetitive chicken, rice, and broccoli the entire time. All of these meals are high in protein. They're gonna be extra filling. They're gonna be good in the fridge for the entire week. And honestly, once you start following a diet like this where you're actually eating good food, I'm telling you, it is a complete game changer. Now, when it comes to the order in which you eat these meals in, don't worry about making sure the French toast is number 1, the pasta is number 2. You don't gotta do that. What matters most is that at the end of the day, we've hit our protein and calorie goal, which means you can have these in any order that you want. You can fast a little in the morning if you would like. You can eat 2 meals at once. Don't overthink it. At the end of the day, what matters most is that we hit our calorie and our protein goal. So as far as meal timing and meal structure, I always tell people, don't overthink it. Get your food in and you're gonna be good. Now, if you followed all 4 of these meals for a day, what that would put you at is 1,860 calories with 168 grams of protein. So depending on how active you are, how often you're training, your height, weight, you might need more calories, you might need slightly less. I have videos on my channel showing you how to get these numbers, and all that information is also in my cookbook. But technically for me, what I would do with a day's worth of this food is probably add something else to it. Maybe that's a protein shake, some yogurt, or even a protein bar like an Anabar. This is the best tasting protein bar on the market, hands down. 21 grams of protein, doesn't even taste like a protein bar. And this is the milk chocolate campfire s'mores flavor. It is dropping November 4th at 4 p.m. Central. So finalbossfulness.com. Code RGF10 will secure you a box and get you a discount. So if we go ahead and add a protein bar into the mix on our day, that gives us 5 solid meals and puts the daily totals at 2,153 calories, 41 grams of fat, 189 grams of protein, 257 grams of carbs, 32 grams of fiber. Now for me, someone who trains quite a bit, does cardio, for me that's great. High protein, lots of carbs for energy. I kept the fat pretty low. That's how I like it. But if you have my cookbook or you watch the recipe videos on this channel, feel free to make your own plan and structure it how you'd like. But for me, honestly, this would be one heck of a day. I appreciate you guys for checking out the channel today. If you you enjoyed this video. It'd mean the world to me if you could smash that thumbs up button. If you want to see more meal prep videos like this, y'all gotta let me know down below. Don't forget my cookbook available at the first link in the description box. All these recipes are in there along with every other recipe on this channel. Honestly, once you get accustomed to cooking and eating like this, it really is a dietary game changer. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. I appreciate you guys as always for checking out the channel. And until next time, I'll see each and every one of you at the next video. See you guys. Boom, baby.